Hey everyone, welcome back to another real estate market update. Is Calgary real estate coming into a bubble? I'm Uros Markovic, Calgary area realtor, and I'll try to give you the answers to the questions that many of you are asking right now. But before we start, let's click the subscribe button below and notification bell. Alright, the headline from our Calgary Real Estate Board was "Sellers' market conditions continue to impact prices." So, what does that even mean anyways? Well, it means that our real estate market in Metro Calgary and surrounding area is tilted in favor to the homeowners. When a real estate market is in this way, home prices are on the rise and buyers are required to adhere to the wishes of the seller. The idea of getting big discounts or great other value property does not really exist in a seller's market scenario like we are in right now. In this update, I want to explain a couple of key elements rather than hitting you with a bunch of market data. Our current market is paralleling one of the best market scenarios in Calgary's real estate history, the run-up of 2005 to 2007. Many of you may remember these years when within a 3-year period, we basically doubled our average benchmark price. Alberta real estate was insanely affordable in relation to our high household incomes, and it was only a matter of time before things were corrected. We grew about 20% year over year, then 30%, and then finally 40%. I'm bringing this up because it is the last time we saw sales values consistently, like we are having right now, coupled with a very few total active inventory we have on the market. The 2012 to 2014 run-up, you may remember, did not have sales figures as high and as consistent as we have been having recently, and did not have nearly as low as number of homes on the market as we have now. These years had us year over year increasing our sales price by 8, 10 and 12%, so more of a modest growth. The paralleling of our market with 2005 to 2007 period also relates to our benchmark sales price. As I mentioned, we were so low back then that there was nowhere to go but up. Calgary over the last 6 to 7 years have seen decline in relation to the rest of the developed world. While we suffered from oil price issues, political issues, pipeline issues and so on, the rest of the world didn't. The other regions continue to see year over year positive growth in its housing sector. So again, for a powerful market center like Alberta, we find ourselves with a very inexpensive housing. As the other regions in North America emerges from COVID, as our economy diversifies and our oil sector remains in incredibly strong demand, we are positioned to go through another run-up. But will it be like 2005 to 2007 or more like 2012 to 2014? Well, nobody really knows, but the parallels are obvious and all signs are looking positive for a good while. Second thing I would like to discuss with you is, should we be concerned about Alberta real estate market, including Calgary and the surrounding areas, being in a real estate bubble territory like some in Canada are discussing? Well, I don't think so, and this is why. There are differences between busy, yet healthy, and dangerously overheated. From our recent data, here are a few things to consider. Number one, our active numbers of homes on the market is still low, yes, but we are still listing a historically high number of homes on the market. In January this year, we listed about 10% more homes than in January last year. In January 2021, we listed more homes than in January 2020, 2019, 2018, and I could go on and on. The growth we have had recently in our benchmark sales price is really a product of well-balanced positive demand, not due to overinflated sales prices because there is nothing to buy. And number two is the residential market as a whole tells a full-tale story, not just the headlines. But before we get into the details, I need to say that there are big differences in demand among certain communities, property type and price points. Well, you will hear from other agents, you will hear from news outlets, you will hear from your neighbors of prices records being shattered, 100K over the listing price results, and so on. While that is the truth for many detached homes in high demand price points and communities, it is slightly incorrect for the market as a whole. Pulling some light of my own, I looked into a few extra data points to paint you a full picture to show you the true heat map of our market. Well, I'm pulling up this first graph here, and you will see a chart comparison sales to list price versus price ranges. Well, what do you notice here? You will see that as we creep up 450,000 mark through about 850,000, that the sales to list price ratio is averaging around 100 to a maximum of 103%. What this means is that for properties priced between 450,000 and almost 900,000, sellers are basically getting what they're asking. Below 400,000, it starts to decline to about 96 to 98% of what they're asking, and then the same occurs as we go up 1.25 million and above. So yes, the market is healthy, and the sellers are basically getting what their advisors are suggesting is fair value. We are seeing on average that prices are being pushed 20% above, even 50% above, or anything more. There are exceptions, absolutely, but this is not the norm for the entire market. Will some very aggressive buyers pay too much right now to get the home they want and need? Yes, no doubt. But that does not mean it's driving all housing prices to the place of overinflation. This next graph shows price ranges versus days on market. You have heard that homes are selling in day or a first few days on market and with no conditions. It depends on the area and the property type. Homes under 400,000, there are lots of condos and townhouses in those price ranges, are still seeing days on market averages of over 50. Homes above 1 million, it is the same thing. But the middle part of the market is moving very fast with an average days on market under 30 days. Well, to give you an example, detached homes in my own community of Copperfield sell in 22 days in average. So while many do, that still means that not everybody is getting those unconditional deals on a day one. My final point relates to something I comment on a lot: the sales to new listing ratio. I often use the word pace when discussing this topic. The ratio is for all Calgary real estate regions so far in 2022 is 80%. That means that 80% of all new listings turned into sale within a month. Again, not 100, not 200. If I divide all of those per property types, this is how things look like. Detached 89%, semi-detached 75%, row 84%, and apartments 64%. The higher the number over 100% means the more the market is swallowing up all available homes. This is not the case with us at all. Again, it is healthy but not dangerous. We are not selling through everything that hits the market. So with these 3 points in mind, the answer to my question of should we be concerned about Calgary and area being in a bubble territory is simply no. Our market is very active and healthy, and despite it feeling rushed and maybe a little bit out of control, it is a great market. And it is one of the most of Canada's would rather be in. I promise you that. So in summary, the market is acting differently everywhere. Each district of the city, each satellite community, each property type, and each price range. We need to have a detailed conversation to be sure you're in full understanding of how our current market applies to your specific situation. Thank you for staying with me until the end once again, and have a great day.